Okay, so Razo and Phoenix, this is loser semis. This will be interesting, actually. Sonic versus Peach, what do you think?
I think while Peach controls the air, Sonic just has a better combo ability, and I feel like
you should switch them, actually. Because player 1 is Phoenix.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, we're starting off on Smashville. Phoenix seems to be just kind of side being and then shielding, just making a bunch of noise. I'm trying to see what Razo's going to approach with. Both players still feeling each other out for the most part. Pretty even in terms of percent.
Right.
Phoenix with a slight lead, making it bigger little by little.
Yep.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yep.
Swinging the turnip and getting a forward throw, was it?
Yep. I feel like what Peach needs to do is control her turnip uses, because I feel like when you have a projectile against Sonic, like it can disrupt his flow. So depending on how Razo decides to use turnip to sort of interrupt Phoenix, then Razo might be able to bring this back. But Phoenix just taking a decisive lead right here.
Yeah, Phoenix is doing a lot of anti-air options actually with his spin dashes, up airs, back airs.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have to approach, and because Spin Dash is able to jump in the air, he's not limited to the ground like other characters.
Peach is going to have a bit of trouble floating around actually.
Right. So when it comes to floating around, Sonic just beats her because Spin Dash is just such a fast move that she has no aerials that can really challenge it.
Exactly.
And then on the ground, like, I'd argue it's even worse.
Ooh, good forward air by Razo, taking Sonic's first stock.
Yeah, but at this point, she's probably an up throw up air percent.
Potentially. Phoenix also going for a few forward smashes here and there.
Right.
A few backers too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing is that Peach's really only kill option on the table is fair and then maybe a back throw at higher percents, but
if you're lucky, a Stitch face or a Bob Bomb.
Or an up smash hard read, but Sonic just has so many more ways to add on damage and kill that he doesn't have to approach.
Clearly Peach is having a really tough time.
Oh, no, that was a Stitch face.
Oh, was that?
It was, and he just threw it away. Yep, that's it.
Back throw at the ledge is going to kill Peach. Yep. Alright, Phoenix taking the first game.
I'm surprised Razo didn't go, like, try to get a get off me option. There, hold on. Because I saw Phoenix like try going for that pivot grab before, and he whiffed it. And I figured like, okay, Razo's just gonna try to escape from that situation. Nope, just stayed in shield and he got grabbed anyways. So Smashville again.
I don't know how I feel about going back to Smashville. I feel like Smashville gives Sonic a bit of space, especially with the platform.
I feel
like get away from the option.
A tri-platform stage would be better, but
at the same time, Peach is going to have trouble getting Sonic off of the platforms.
Right.
I would like to assume that the ban was FD.
But even FD, like, or I guess against Sonic, like, probably Sonic's worst stage, but yet again, when it's your worst stage, like, you're probably going to ban it.
Yeah, so I don't think it was like a ban for Peach's good stage, but rather a ban for Sonic's bad stage.
That's a tricky thing that Phoenix does occasionally throughout all those matches. That he'll spin dash and he'll stop right in front of you just to grab you. Because you think he's like, oh, he's just gonna up B afterwards, or oh, he's gonna just spin dash through me, but he can actually stop right before and kill you for that.
So Razo doing a good job at reading that up B and then hitting him with the forward air and taking the stock earlier.
Oh wow, Razo going in really deep and low for that edge guard. We tried two-framing there too, but did not get the forward smash out in time.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to two-frame Peach's recovery with that umbrella.
Yeah,
That up smash doing a lot of knockback, almost killing Sonic actually.
I feel like Phoenix is very flustered at this point, and he's just trying to get the kill. And then that causes him to play a lot more impatient, and Razo is just capitalizing on that.
Yeah, if Phoenix starts to play a lot more patient, he can change the pace of this match significantly in his favor.
Nice. Going in, sneaking in that raw back air.
Good on Phoenix. This is still doable for Phoenix, actually. It's just a lot of patience on his part.
I think the one thing that Razo has to really look out for is the down B down air combo.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Platform got in the way of that neutral B, allowing Razo to get a punish.
Yeah. One of the things that's actually really scary is the footstool combos that you can get off that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he did decide going for it just because Peaches was so floaty that won't really work. Ooh, red.
It's the second time Razo goes for the Toad counter.
Right. Toad counter is probably worst counter in the game.
Yeah, but it is good at.
I mean, maybe second worst to Palutena's counter, but
yeah, Palutena is actually pretty bad. Actually, I think the worst one would be Me Sword Fighters.
Is it really that? I thought Me Sword Fighters was like Roy's counter.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say Me Sword Fighters is pretty bad.
No.
Well, the case is Peach's counter isn't the worst.
Yeah.
It's good at getting recoveries and they're recovering low.
Yeah. And that's it.
Back throw, gonna do it. Alright.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Phoenix was starting to get momentum, and you can tell Razo was just flustered. But Razo had built enough a percentage lead where he could just get that grab and back throw.
I'm curious as to where Phoenix is gonna take Razo.
Okay, Dreamland. Now,
Dreamland.
this is probably a good stage for Sonic just because of him being able to kill off the top with up airs. I mean, you don't see a lot with Sonic either, but Sonic does have a kill throw and forward throw.
That's true.
Yeah.
This will probably tie back in later into the game or set. Peach's floatiness and like the way that she floats around. If Sonic catches her on a platform, it's going to be a very scary situation for Razo. Razo taking a good percent lead here. Phoenix seems to be playing on the more impatient side. I would like to see him slow it down though.
I feel like he's still feeling a little bit flustered from that last game, and so he's trying to like rush in and get that lead again.
If Phoenix plays on more patiently, then Razo's going to be forced to play his game, and then Razo's going to have a bad time.
I feel like the pace of the game is determined within the first 15-20 seconds.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this is because depending on who gets the lead, it changes who approaches who.
Yeah, the pace of the game is determined in parts, so I believe, like you said, 15 seconds, like the first 15 seconds, determines how the first stock is going to go for the rest of the stock. And whoever takes the first stock is the one that gets to define the new pace.
Right.
And most of the time it's really difficult to change that pace.
Especially when you have two characters that can play very patiently.
Yeah.
Well, yet again, something can completely happen by like a 2-frame forward smash. Just a hard read. And that can just drastically change the flow of the game. Yeah, but I feel like Phoenix is starting to slow it down a little bit. Starting to
But at
realize
the same time, he's at kill percent.
Oh.
Speaking of kill percent, there's an up smash by Peach. Oh, sorry. I love this song. Razo isn't getting too much percent on the second stock here, but
As
never
he gets
mind.
23%
He gets
from 2 moves.
23% and continues to rack it up with a bunch of.
Oh, he's
Whoa.
dead? Excuse me?
Whoa. Is that
I mean,
potentially
Peach.
a case of bad DI?
Like, I know her forward air
That
is
forward air.
strong, but like, it's not that strong, is it? Like, no, that had to be bad DI.
I believe so. Phoenix may be looking flustered here.
Alright.
So I think this game 4, depending on how Phoenix takes that loss, it's going to change the way things play out in this game. So yeah, already we can see Phoenix going for a more aggressive approach.
Right. And then you can see Razo, in response to that, is playing a lot more defensively, going with floating down airs.
I do agree with this counter pick actually though.
Yeah.
It still messes with a lot of Peach's float.
And same thing with the platforms too.
Yeah. Okay, Razo slowly bringing it back, getting percent more even.
Who tried challenging that with a fair, but unfortunately, I think he was too low for that. Or he was too, Razo was too high, and then Phoenix is spin dash is a bigger hitbox.
Percents are rather even right now.
Yeah.
And Razo doing a pretty good job at taking center stage.
Yeah. That turnip actually set up a wall that you couldn't really see because she was in shield.
Yeah.
But Phoenix ran into it, and it's a little percents, but these little percents add up over time.
Yeah, it also puts Phoenix in a position where he can't really go aggressive again in the immediate moment.
Both characters looking at even percents almost. They're just
trying to
looking
fill
for
each
that.
other
Yeah,
out.
there it is for
Forward air, that's
Yeah.
gonna do it. That's taking the first stock. So yeah, like we said earlier, first stock determines the pace for the next few moments of the match.
Yeah.
So Phoenix going on the more aggressive
And
side
he's
here.
gonna try. Yeah, I was about to say like he's gonna try to go for the kill now.
Yeah. So Phoenix getting a little more impatient. Razo taking advantage and getting a few percents. Never mind a few, that's 64%.
Yeah, I believe that.
Forward throw?
Yep,
Yeah,
there's
there we
that kill
go.
throw coming into play. Yeah, that's actually a really smart trap. Is
That's
that,
true.
You mainly see it on tri-platform stages, but it kind of works on this stage. But when you spring on that central platform, they get sent straight up if they like don't jump away as soon as they get off the platform.
Yeah,
Which-
so then they end up using up their invincibility by jumping on the spring.
Right. Oh, that could have been very bad for Phoenix if he hadn't shielded in time.
So Phoenix actually doing a pretty good job getting his own percent back.
Alright.
So that was actually rather interesting. Phoenix just spring, like center stage, and then Razo, since he was
Ooh.
floating, he ended up falling onto the spring.
He tried holding that forward smash because a lot of people might spot dodge in response
Yeah.
to that, and so if Peach had spot dodge, she probably would have been dead. Oh, there's trying to get that 2-frame on that punish, but yet again, because this is Lilat, I feel like he's not going to be able to get that down angle thing just because it's on a slant.
Lilat messing with a lot of weird things here.
I feel like he's going to try looking for that spin dash nair.
Okay, well Phoenix doing a really good job taking the percent lead here, only a 24% difference.
Right. Yep. But oh my god, his shield is so low.
Like slowly but surely he's recovering it back though.
Yeah.
Dash attack, doing a lot of knockback.
It's one of those like secret kill moves that like you don't expect to kill, and it just does.
Yeah. It's not something you see Peaches use very often because most of the time they'll end up killing it. Pretty much this percent where Sonic's at now. Around maybe 130.
Oh yeah.
Razo taking that forward air,
Alright.
winning the set 3-1 versus Phoenix.
Alright. Now we're on to losers finals.
Losers finals is Razo versus I'm Hip.